Over the past 4 years, UNL Research has been conducting a study on cover crops and how they affect yield potential in both corn and soybeans. We sat down with UNL Postdoctoral Research Associate of Agronomy and Horticulture, Katja Koehler-Cole, during late February to learn more.
The study was started with funding from the corn and soybean boards in 2014. 2014 was the first season we planted cover crops in corn and soybean systems. And we did this research to figure out whether we can fit cover crops into a corn-soybean rotation in Nebraska and what the implications on corn and soybean yields would be. All of our plots are on research stations. So we have the one in Concord, we have the one in Meade, we have one in South Central Nebraska, South Central Ag Lab, and then we had one out at Brule at the Western Central Research and Extension Station there. This one is now discontinued, but the other ones we still have. And at all of the 3 research sites, we plant cover crops into corn, into soybeans, and into continuous corn. So every year we plant it in each of the 3 phases, and we use the same cover crops at each site. And we also plant at 2 different times. So one is an early planting where we broadcast it into the corn or soybean stands, and one is a late planting where we drill after corn and soybean harvest. So we use cereal rye, planted alone, and also cereal rye in 2 mixes. So one mix had cereal rye at a seeding rate of 30 pounds per acre, and then it also included hairy veg, winter pea, and a forage radish. And the other one had cereal rye at 20 pounds per acre, and it included hairy veg, winter pea, forage radish, collards, as well as a clover. And the cereal rye, when we planted it alone, was planted at 60 pounds per acre. And then we also had a legume mix that was hairy veg and winter pea, and we had a pure planted forage radish.
According to Katja in her Crop Watch article, each of the research sites were terminated 2 weeks before planting both corn and soybeans. However, the results varied among each of the different research sites. First, trial site Brule, located in western Nebraska, was discontinued due to a short fall growing season and the lack of precipitation, which restricts cover crop productivity. Clay Center, the only irrigated site, was planted early and produced less than 500 pounds per acre of dry matter in each cropping sequence. At Concord, cover crops were planted before the corn was sampled on April 20th, resulting in less than 300 pounds per acre of biomass in both the early and late plantings. Finally, the site at Meade contained early rye, which resulted as the most productive cover crop since it maintained a higher biomass than late rye.
Cover crops, especially cereal rye, are really good for preventing soil erosion. In Nebraska, we still have quite a bit of water erosion going on. Even in no-till fields, we also have wind erosion, especially over soybean. So cereal rye is really good because it has the living grounds in the soil that prevent the soil from being blown away. So that is the main reason why farmers should grow cover crops. The other reason is we have pretty high levels of soil nitrate in the spring. We also have high levels of nitrate that's leaching into the groundwater. So cover crops can take up some of that nitrate, prevent it from leaching, and once they're killed, they decompose, and that nitrate is then recycled back into the soil, so instead of being lost or ending up in our groundwater or elsewhere.
Katja also says that for winter cover cropping in corn and soybean systems in Nebraska, rye is the most productive cover crop, followed by the rye plus 3 mix containing rye, veg, pea, and collards, along with the rye plus 5 mix containing rye, veg, pea, collards, black oats, and Balenza clover. Katja also says that when rye is killed, it forms a thick mulch that will keep the soil cool, prevent weeds from growing, and also prevent some evaporation from the soil. Even though UNL's cover crop project was in its 4th and final year in 2017, there are always new goals for the upcoming year.
We're hoping to have our last round of soil physical testing, where we test again the density and water aggregate stability. We're also going to conduct a test where we are looking at soil microbial activity. We actually have measured soil nitrate, NPK actually, and organic C in every year, but in 2018 we hope to measure it in the deeper soil layers as well. It's a really interesting topic. Lots of farmers are are really keen on learning more about it. So we're happy to share our knowledge with them.